Should walkouts and booing be discouraged at the Cannes Film Festival?
I can feel you pulling things around in there.
It's a brand new organ. Never before seen.
The Cannes Film Festival and their checkered history with prevalent walkouts and boos have come to define many important films, which are also pieces of art.
We've all felt that the body was empty. Empty of meaning.
The legendary body horror director David Cronenberg's new film, Crimes of the Future, is premiering at the lauded Cannes Film Festival shortly. Longtime Cronenberg fans and newcomers alike are excited to catch the first official reviews of Cronenberg's long-awaited return to cinema. However, Cronenberg himself does not quite match the same level of enthusiasm as some of his fans for the upcoming festival screening of his new film. Cronenberg has stated in multiple interviews that he very well expects a Cannes special at the screening of Crimes of the Future, namely Walkouts. He even stated that he expects this Cannes delicacy within the first 5 minutes of the film. Cronenberg himself is no stranger to walkouts at the Cannes Film Festival. In 1996, Cronenberg's now cult classic Crash premiered at the Premiere Festival and was hailed not with the applause it very well might have deserved, but instead with walkouts, as people were disgusted with the rampant sex and nudity present throughout the film. This is also not a problem that Cronenberg alone has faced. Many icons in the film community, including the likes of David Lynch and Lars von Trier with their films Wild at Heart and The House That Jack Built, respectively, along with others from Lars von Trier, have dealt with the same problems at Cannes as Cronenberg. Indeed, every year there are many walkouts at the Cannes Film Festival for one reason or another having to do with the film being shown. In fact, one may go as far as to argue that the festival itself has slowly become synonymous with the two ends of the film reception spectrum. In particular, walkouts and boos, or standing ovations, which at times last far longer than they should. As a result, there is no question as to why the art of the walkout is considered a staple at the Cannes Film Festival.
Father, Mother, always you wrestle inside me.
Should the Cannes team do anything about the walkouts and boos, which have started to become a continuous event at their festival each and every year without fail?
Yeah, people do anything in front of a taxi driver. I mean anything.
The short answer is yes. Walkouts or other public displays of indecency, including booing, are not only extremely disrespectful to the cast and crew, who at times have spent years working on some of these projects, but they also demean the Cannes Film Festival as a whole and bring it down to the same level as every other festival out there. This should not be Cannes' mission or desire. A festival that sits at the Cannes level should do anything in its power to keep itself there, and not actively discouraging something as disrespectful as walkouts is not the avenue for keeping that power. Cannes is a very special film festival, and the Palme d'Or is an extremely special award. Both of these hold a very elegant significance, which many may put in jeopardy by such discourteous behavior as walkouts and boos. Such a public display of dislike and disgust should not be disregarded at a festival with as much glamour and prestige as the Cannes. Instead, Cannes should encourage these disgruntled journalists and patrons alike to channel their anger into the reviews of the films that they saw and experienced at Cannes. And while this may not hold the same zeal as publicly displaying one's disgust on the stage of the biggest film festival in the entire world, acting in such a way preserves the distinction that the name Cannes holds and also prevents the public shaming of someone's work. In addition to this, Cannes should discourage this behavior because many times these actions have been shown to be performed with blatant inaccuracy. Expanding on this, one may view Martin Scorsese's 1976 film Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver is a film that masterfully depicts the effects of violence on society and includes arguably one of the greatest performances ever to be put on film by the great Robert De Niro. This film is one of America's greatest offerings to the cornucopia that is world cinema and is undoubtedly one of the greatest American films ever made. However, at the Cannes Film Festival, many decided to greet the film's decidedly brutal finale with boos and walkouts. This, along with many other examples, including Leos Carax's Holy Motors and Terrence Malick's The Tree of Life, demonstrate how at times, films which elicit boos, walkouts, or both are simply unworthy of such treatment. The Tree of Life and Taxi Driver both went on to win the Palme d'Or, and Holy Motors is widely known in the film community as a fantastical masterpiece. As a result of this, the act of walking out or yelling boos at the screen can at times not even be defended by the fact that the film being walked out on or booed is poorly made. Cannes attendees are often objectively incorrect with their sentiments towards various films as they boo or walk out of them. Because of this and other reasons mentioned previously, Cannes should do whatever it can to prohibit things like this from happening in future festivals, as booing or walking out of films is not only extremely disrespectful, but also occasionally done incorrectly if it has to be done at all.
There are some who'd make me out to be the villain of this here story.
The 2022 Cannes Film Festival and the many Cannes Film Festivals which will come in the future, and the changes that can and should be made to these prestigious events.
I've had a lot of time to think, and I made the decision I'm not going to go back to school after winter break.
What?
The prevalence of the Cannes walkouts and boos have gotten alarmingly high. Since this practice started, Cannes had only seen it continue through its 74 previous festivals, leading up to the 75th festival, which is currently ongoing. There will most likely be walkouts at the screening of David Cronenberg's new film, Crimes of the Future, and there is nothing that Cannes can do about it this year. However, Cannes should look at next year, the 76th Cannes Film Festival, as a new opportunity to start different trends in the realm of Cannes screenings. That could finally be the year where there are less walkouts and more of simply the presence or lack of presence of an applause or another custom to determine a film's reception at the festival. There is no need for such a disrespectful practice to be so relevant at a film festival with so much dignity and respect attached to its name as the Cannes Film Festival. Cannes should put their foot down on walkouts and push forward a new era filled with only the celebration of the creation of film.
Are you ready to fly?
I'm ready. Ready to fly.
Tomorrow, all of America will be talking about Elvis Presley.